We've just done the Spartan. Now we're going to move on to this bald eagle. This is one that you can use. I use this a lot on Harley Davidsons. Let me just switch that fan off a sec. I use this on Harley Davidson bikes quite a lot, along with American flags, stars and stripes. So having a eagle or a bald eagle under your belt is a great thing to have. So especially if you're painting motorcycles and Harleys and stuff like that. So this is a beginner version, so I'm not going to go into heavy detail. I will post up a picture of like a full detailed eagle or buzzard, or you know, some kind of hawk, just so you can see the level of detail that you can actually get in these kind of projects, and we will move on to that. But this is just to get, you know, beginners started the right way, and we're gonna simplify this as much as we can. So hopefully we'll get it done within sort of half an hour. So the main thing I'm picking on straight away is the beak. Remember to save your piece. I don't know whether my knife's sharp, because once you cut on these and you're using the scalpels, they do run out of the sharpness just disappears very quickly. So what we want to do is we want to put, I haven't got really much covering this side, so I'm just going to use a bit of masking tape, application tape I should say, just to cover that side there, because we'll get a fair bit of overspray. So let's just get that in there like that. Okay, so what I want to do is put a little bit of a shadow on this edge, okay, and I'm just going to run down the line like that, okay, down to the beak. I'm almost just cutting off the curve. Like that. I'm using mainly the masking itself, okay, and then I'll put a little bit of a smooth misting right here, and I'll just push up like that. That's it. Okay, I'm leaving about a couple of mil towards this edge, and we'll just carry that on over the curve, that shadow just a little bit over the curve. And that's pretty much it for the beak. It's not a lot. This is going to be, like I say, a simple version. I'm just going to get this darkness under the beak, that little bit there. Okay, so we've got our beak. What we can do is we can put our, just make sure we're air dried first. We can put our beak back, just for now, just to protect everything, and then we can darken that bit there. Don't want it black, just a nice dark grey. Be nice. And then what we'll do is, I think I'm gonna take this off here. In fact, I'll do this little bit of black here first at the end. I will change my mind as I'm doing stuff, guys, so get that little bit of black out there. If you go by this map, you obviously can cut out all the bits I'm cutting out. So I'm just going to chuck a little bit of darkness in there as well. And then what I might do is just come in here, take that bit out there, and allow me to just pull that back. And I'm just going to put a drop shadow underneath that line. So I'm folding this back, and I'm only going to go up to that dark bit. So I'm going to do a drop shadow. So watch how close I am. Just up to the dark bit. I'm keeping it very local to the line. Right? And we'll give a little bit of a drop shadow coming down, not the full way. Okay? Now we can put that back. Just drop that back in, and then we can do this bit underneath to that darker area. Okay, and we can take out that little bit and this little bit. Not my board then. You can take out this bit. There we go, we got that line now. Just want that little line, that little sliver, and then a bulky bit at the end. So I'm just going to go down that bulky bit there. Ooh, my bit flew off. Okay, didn't need that, but it happened. And I'm just going to go down that line. Don't matter if I get a little bit of underspray. The main thing is I've got that that area covered there. So and now what I'll do is I'll just open up from this line. There's another line here, but I want that a real thin line, so I'm going to take out the bottom bit and I'm just going to run along that line very carefully. And that's it. Stop there. If I get my beak back, wherever that went, I can stick my beak back on. That's the problem with having a low tack application tape. It doesn't pull up the paint, but sometimes it just doesn't want to stick. So you have to really press hard. Okay, I'm just going to put a little drop shadow up to that line along the bottom of the beak. That's it. Go out a bit wider there. Okay, I'm going to take the little bit out on the nose, or on the beak. On the nose. Like my missus, she says the dog's got hands. Don't know when a dog has ever had hands, but it's the same with me. Birds with noses. So we've just cut out the eye, and I've just gone round. I'm going to neaten all this up in a little while, but I just wanted to get that eye in. And what I'll do now is I will cut the outer ring go right up, and then I'll do a drop shadow behind it, so there's almost like a ring around the outside of the eye. I'm going to have to cut that down the middle so I can open it up like that, and then I'll just go around the outside of that ring and do a drop shadow. So you have to go in very tight. Didn't quite get that because that's flat back. There we go. Just get that in, and then what we can do is take out the middle section, and then we've got our ring around the eye. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just cut out this little area, this little black area. There's a few areas actually. I'll probably cut them out all in one hit to save us keep going in and out. So I'm going to take this bit out here. This little dark area here. I'm going to keep these fairly light when I come to paint them though. It's just that this gives us a sense of feather movement, so where that is, because this is all kind of darker under that area there, so I've got a landmark to work to, but you'll see when I didn't quite work, but it'll give me where it is. And like this feather like bit here, I'm just cutting out the shape. We'll go up to there and we'll take that out. There we go. We'll pop that back. Okay. Might want to get that little bit of beak in under there, but what I'll do is I'll just be very careful going up to it. So I'm going to put the dark line in underneath. You can shield it if you need to shield it. And then I'm going to punch out of it downwards. In little daggers. And then it goes very dark in the middle. Watch your direction. See, that was just a little skate across, just so I knew where they were. And then I can do these other two little ones here. And it just gives you a landmark to work to, so you know where that mark is. Just so you know where they are. And when you're looking for, you know, sort of like around this area, you kind of know you're just in between those two black marks. So I'll just give myself pointers of where things are. So a little scoot over that one, a little scoot over those two. Now what I'm going to do is come in underneath, just underneath. Move that out of the way, just turn that off. I'm going to take this away. Just drag that down a bit, like that. And then that's going to leave, I'm going to have to move this out of the way now. Okay. And all I'm going to do is just push down. Just drag it off. Do darker in the grooves. And that's it. That's all I'm going to do. Now we'll cut around the complete outside. And then we'll take off. Oh, let's get that bit there. Take off the whole outside. Left a little bit in there. Just want to get that little bit out of there. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is just mist around the outside a bit. So. A bit like what we did with the Sparta. We're just misting around the outside. If you want to put some mountains in it or anything like that, you remember how we done, we just grabbed a piece of paper and we just tore a shape out of it that resembled kind of mountains. There you go, there's one there, look. We can do a little bit just to give it some background if you wanted to give it some background. Like that, so you've got a bit of something going on. Change the shape, you can kind of come in there. And then maybe one there. I know it's the same shape, but you can change up the shape if you want to change up the shape. There you go. Right, and then what that does, that allows us to peel everything off. And it gives us our main eagle shape. There we go. Okay. Now all we're going to do is just work on a little bit of detail. We're not going to go mad, so we're just going to punch out of our shadow. We want to lose that shadow look here, right? And we want to round that off a bit. So I'm just running along that edge and I'm just going to push out. Look at the difference that's made. That's really softened that up. And then we'll grab our circle and we'll neaten up the eye. Okay. Just get that shape right. And we'll do the same on the external. So we'll just neaten up that. And then we can start to just put some very faint little lines in. We can do the same with this feather here. We just drag it out. Okay? And we'll mist around this area. And then as this comes out, push. See that? It's just a simple push. And then we'll do the same that way. We'll just lift up. Make sure you lose that stencil look. Okay, we're just after a little bit of realism, but not a lot. Just push out. And then we'll just hit that line there like that. Okay. Now what we've got to do is go over the head. So we're just going to flick like that. Just flick it over. And then from here, we'll continue actually. We'll just do a few more little licks. You can't see a lot. Just a few like that. Remember, this is beginner. I don't expect you to get this amazing. But this is sort of beginner level. I'm not going too heavy. I'm not going too hyper realistic. I'm just running along the stencil lines and smoothing things out. A little bit around that beak area there. Just along there. Okay. Now all I'm going to do in this darker area, I can see it just basically pushes out. Let's do a couple of little pushes. And it goes down. So get your paint flowing and then just push. 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 Do the same with these. Push downwards. Push downwards. Push downwards. Push. 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 I'm just going to shade here a bit because I want to bring in some feathers here along this line, so I'm just going to shade it ever so lightly, and then towards this bottom bit I'm just going to shade a little bit heavier. Okay, already we're getting that kind of look that we want. Now I'm just going to push up, push up, push up, push up. So look at the angle. Okay. We'll shade along one side of these feathers. Okay. Because we're just going to do some erasing. That's all we're going to do. Nice little practice exercise of erasing. I'm just pushing down again. Don't want this to be a long-winded one. We'll go into further detail the more and more we move forward from sort of beginner into intermediate. We'll go into more depth around. I'm just going to block that up around realism. At the moment we're still kind of beginner. There we go. Right, now all we do with our soft rubber or our Tombow, so we can either use, in fact we can use all of them. We can use the glass fibre, the Tombow and the dual-sided eraser. So some things we might want to keep soft and other things we might want to keep hard. I'm just going to put a few little dots in there and a couple of lines. There we go, just to give it a bit of detail in there. I'm just going to shade there. That's it. Okay, I want to shade up there a little bit more. Now if we added, look, just a little bit of texture, I'm going to just show you by adding, if I can find it, there it is. Oh, sorry if I'm in the way. Like there. Just a little bit of dots. And the same in there. Don't take a lot. That's enough to add a little bit of detail. Doesn't take a lot. Okay, so the first things first, I'm just going to go along this beak line. Okay, and then I might even darken actually just above that eye. Oh, I didn't do the middle, so let's do the middle, get that perfect. There you go, just by using a circle stencil. And then I want to darken along that edge like it's a drop shadow. And just come in there like that, and this is going to make all the difference, right? Just by coming in and doing a little highlight there. Okay, and then with your soft pink, that was with the glass fibre by the way, and then with the soft pink, just come in and highlight under here and just watch that eye come alive. There, look at that. It's just come alive. Amazing. Just a few little highlights. And then we can touch up on this outer rim bit as well. Just in that area there. We can pick up on this. All I'm doing is adding little highlights. And it's just adding to the detail. So I'm just going to shoot a little bit of a shade under there. Put some extra lines in. Just getting a little bit tighter. Okay. And then, yeah, and a little shade in there. Just along that bit, because it is a ridge. Alright, and then what we can do is just come in and make up kind of our own feathers. Right, I will go into more depth when I get into the more advanced stuff. But you can see how we can just do a little bit of erasing. Just want to shade underneath the eye. Just a little bit. And then what we'll do is we'll make it look like it's feathers. Leave gaps in between. Do a little bit of a highlight there. We can even come down this bit. Look, if I use a soft eraser and just bring that down. There, like that. Still want to brighten that one up a bit in there. Get that nice and bright. Perfect little exercise for you guys. I'm not adding too much detail, I'm just erasing a few little highlights out here and there. I could go into all those feathers coming up here and just look, just picking out one side of it and add a lot more detail. Alright, but I just want to get you guys started as a beginner. Okay, this ain't about, you know, stupid amount of detail. And I think that's going to do us for now.